Hey, what's going on there, comic community? This is your boy Rich Taylor with my co-host Aaron Yeezy Yee. This is By the Dip episode number 22.1, but 22. Um, you know what we do here? We put together a list that consists of books, most of them key issues or sought after books that could have a possible buying opportunity and or I shouldn't say or they haven't seen their floor yet. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Before we get into that, let me introduce my co-host, Aaron Yeezy Yee, the jack of all trades, the master of every channel. What's up, Aaron? How you doing, bud?
Doing pretty good. I'm glad to be here on a Tuesday. I knew what day of the week was. Yes, I'm doing something. And big shout out to Birdbird for giving us a shout out.
Oh, okay. He
Yeah.
says, dude, I gotta catch the rewind. I'll keep this rolling for man, you're slang. Man, damn millennials, man.
I'll keep this rolling for the algorithm.
Oh, algo.
Yeah.
Got it.
So he's leaving a comment, participating in chat to help us out.
Slang back in YouTube. No, I'm kidding. Patrick M, what up, man? He about to call tonight. Just want some cash on the Celtics game. Time to turn in. Okay, so it was in Boston, right? So that means they won. That could wait. I don't know. It was like a 3-point game. Did they cover? If it was in Boston, they would be the favorite. So
I think I need to list these cards. Like I need to list these 3 cards.
Dude, it's so funny. You see that Anthony Edwards shimmer or whatever that is right there? I have that card. I got it out of a Fairfield's mystery box, out of Wax Junk box, and a bunch of other cards. And long story short, I have tore up my entire closet today looking for Anthony Edwards.
I need to find the right box because I know I have a box that has like a stack of his rookies and stuff like that. But these are the ones I already have graded and stuff like that. Like,
nice.
Yeah, nice. So like this Ant-Man. I mean, I have a Jason Tatum out of 49 in the PSA 10.
Ooh,
and then
I like that.
And then this is a Luka rookie 9.5 CGC, or when it was called CSG. So
Luka is deservingly so. Very high price cards.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I would rather sway. Probably it's a little too late for Anthony Edwards. I would sway my money towards Halliburton because his cards are still really affordable and he's really good. And I still think Jason Tatum's a great buy right now. So and then of course Mikey holding it down with the wrench. He said it's going to be a great show. Sit back and enjoy. Make sure you're subbed up. Appreciate you, Mikey. Second best moderator on YouTube. Very close second, of course, behind the infamous AOA. And then, of course, Jeffrey Jake is in the house. He says, hello, all. Hey, what up, Jeff? Appreciate you, brother. And then Jersey the Bay giving us some pizza, some horns, and some Wi-Fi. So, hell yeah. All we need is a dog emoji in there, and Aaron would be going crazy. He loves pizza dog. Thank you, Jersey the Bay. Tom says, quit jacking trades. Gotcha. And OJ Pimpson, they got extremely lucky, didn't cover. Okay, gotcha. And then thank you for that, OJ. I appreciate it. And Tom, thank you. Welcome back, by the way. I appreciate you joining us. And OJ, so glad you made it again. Haven't seen you in a while. Big shout out. I appreciate that, man. Spidey Gay Murphy says, good evening, gents. Throws the horns up. Double horns. Hell yeah. All right, guys, let's get into it. This is By the Dip, episode 22. Before we start, of course, we like to shout out a couple people. But first we do, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Double click that notification bell to also don't miss any content forthwith that Aaron and I have planned, from shorts to videos to live streams, all different kind of collectibles and pop culture stuff that we are keeping in our back pocket until after SDCC. So make sure you do that and leave us a comment or question in the comment section. We'd love to chop it up with you in that section. And make sure, if you guys are shipping books, UPS, FedEx, USPS, DHL, make sure you're using Gemini Comic Supply. They have slab mailers too. Also, these flash mailers, they fit magazine sized books, guys. Use the code popcorn99. You'll get 10% off your next purchase. There's a bonus code. Give to your buddy. SSP 99, like super short print 99. All right, let's get into this. All right, here we go. This is from last Friday's Buy the Dip list on the House of Stein YouTube channel. Make sure you're subbed up to the House of Stein YouTube channel. Our brother from another mother has a great show. He puts together 4 lists, and you can see Aaron and I, along with Bryan and Red Hood, and of course, the infamous, the one and only Ben Stein, every Friday night, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Oh,
Let's go over last week's. Go ahead.
Before we start, how close are we to 1,000?
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. Let's check it out. So it's been a minute since I've checked. I know we were like I think the last time I checked was Saturday. We were at 979 or 980. So let's see where we're at today. Let's go ahead and share the screen. And let's go. So we are at 985 subscribers, guys. I know the video count is a little low, 144. I know you guys want to see more stuff. We're going to bring you more stuff. Aaron's going to be handling shorts, and I'll get some more card and comic videos up for you guys. And then Aaron and we're working on some more live streams because we love to buy the dip once a week, and Aaron's really busy and stuff. But the thing is that I understand how fiendish you guys are for comics and collectibles and this kind of talk. Just because I know that I am. So we're gonna come up with some stuff.
Well, if we get to 1,000 by, let's say, next show Tuesday, I'll give away the sealed Essentia mystery from. Yeah. So this is a sealed one. So you're taking your chance. So I'm leaving it sealed, and then I'll give that away if we get to it by next week. So.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's amazing. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're not, appreciate it. And if you want to help us out, share our content, tag SSPEC media, second word, and we'll shout you out. And if I don't see it, DM me. You guys know how to get a hold of me or Aaron. So, all right. Are we ready to go, Aaron?
I'm ready.
All right, we'll get to the chat in a sec. Love you guys. Let's go. Last week's Buy the Dip list on the House of Stein YouTube channel, May 17th, 2024. Starting off with Deadpool, issue number 1. This is the first solo series of Deadpool. I believe Joe Kelly is the one that wrote this. We're looking at the direct editions. What's going on here, Aaron?
All right, so the first ongoing series for Deadpool, a CGC 9.8 sold for $158, and it has a fair market value of $206. This is down at or about 25% for the 12-month average. Like, to me, I think that's completely insane, especially with a Deadpool movie right around the corner. Like, historically, like, before every Deadpool 1 and 2, like, this book jumped up in price quite a bit in people's anticipation, like, where, because New Mutants 98 is always going to sell no matter what. First appearance, like, I get that, but this is like, I feel like this book has always been a little bit more approachable for people.
Good call.
And but I mean, I get that this is a direct edition, not a newsstand.
Yeah, and I want to add to Aaron makes a lot of sense there, and I'm going to go ahead and allude to that and add by saying that a lot of every time these new movies come out, like that are hits, Deadpool 1, 2, and then Deadpool versus Wolverine, it brings out a lot of newer people, also or older people that just took a long break and they just don't have they're thinking first appearance or whatever. A lot of times they go for the first number one book, and they think, and a lot of the newer people, I would, and I don't mean to offend anybody. If you are newer, I'm just trying to help out. But a lot of the newer people think, oh, wow, I got the number 1 issue, so this is the first book. But, you find out as you learn, you dig a little deeper into key issues and how it works, that, typically a first appearance of a character isn't usually in their titled series. It happens, but not as often.
Right. But I mean, it's an old school mentality too, that like, a first ongoing series is traditionally usually a pretty strong book. Your tapes and heck yeah. That's awesome, Remo. He pre-ordered one of the State of Phil tapes and stuff like that. So
So Aaron is in a band, you guys know. If you guys want to check him out, the description, I have all of Aaron's stuff down here. Nearing Nirvana with Long Short on Thursday nights. I have his band links, but let's see here. This is Aaron's band here.
and then Solo Wookie, this came out in 1997.
Let's see here. So is this your guys' topic? Dehumanize, that's it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's check it out here. So I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen. Let's check out Aaron's band real quick.
Now available on.
Here we go. Get ready to get your metal boots on. Can you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Heavy duty does it. Wait, here comes a bigger breakdown. The double bass. So yeah, make sure you guys are checking out Aaron's band, State of Filth. They're going on tour more often, these little mini shows, mini tours. Most of them are in state, right, Aaron?
Yeah, most of the time we're playing in Texas. We're starting to get more contacts for outside of Texas and all that. So so yeah, I mean, we're growing as a band and all that. So
yeah. So that goes back to Remo's question about the tapes, or the comment about the tapes and the vinyl and stuff. So hope you enjoy it, Remo. Can't wait to get mine. Let me know how it is. You got yours before mine. Funhouse says screwed up proportions. Yeah, who did the cover on this, Aaron? Do you remember?
Ed McGuinness.
Ed McGuinness. Okay, yeah, it does look like McGuinness cover. Totally.
I mean, like, and then it's super early in his career and all that too. So, like, compared to where he's at now, but yeah.
And like I know Bryan's friends with Rob Liefeld, and I don't have a problem with Rob. Rob's cool. I see him all the time. He used to live in, I don't know if he still lives in Orange County, but he goes to my shop. He used to go to my other shop, and
nice.
He seems like a pretty cool guy, a little upbeat, but a pretty cool guy, and he's knowledgeable and stuff. And I introduced myself to him at Comics Unlimited when it was open over here in 2017. And then in 2018, maybe 2019, we started talking on Twitter, and I saw all the arguments he was getting in Twitter, and I wasn't trying to offend him or anything, but I guess now in hindsight, me looking back, I probably shouldn't have said this, but I was just being honest. I was like, well, hey, kudos to you for Deadpool. Deadpool is one of probably my favorite live action characters, and I love the way he's drawn, so on and so forth. But let's be honest, Joe Kelly kickstarted Deadpool. I don't believe Deadpool would be where he is unless Joe Kelly wrote what this solo series. Oh man, that pissed him off. He went off on me, but not in a bad way. He wasn't being disrespectful, but we went back and forth, and we were kind of like, kidding around at the end, and he was totally cool at the end. But yeah, I just case in point is that I really truly believe that Joe Kelly helped spring this character forward. He's not the greatest comic book character. Let's be honest. Ryan Reynolds made the character even more, but
right. Well, and then because Liefeld's iteration of Deadpool, I feel like is a little bit more serious, of like of a superhero or anti-hero, whatever you want to say. But then it, like with Joe Kelly's series, it made the what Deadpool's notorious for, right? Like the multiple personality, bubble thoughts, breaking fourth wall, all that stuff.
Yeah. Fun character. Definitely grew on me in the comics. I couldn't stand him in the comics. I mean, even today, I still think some of the stuff is so corny. I'm just like, how do people read this shit? But I thought Kelly Thompson did a really good job writing that pandemic series in 2020. when Elsa Bloodstone hooked up with him or whatever. And then this new series supposedly with he's got a new series out that has some new character, and then he's got Deadpool versus Wolverine. I heard both of them are pretty good. So jury's out, but let's go ahead. I want to add, in case you guys don't know this, because I know most of the people in the chat and on the rewind know this, but a lot of people don't, including retailers, or they just don't care. The direct and then the newsstand is in the back cover. It's a wraparound, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here is your newsstand. If you go to multiple retailers right now, online retailers right now, multiple that are selling this book, and they have the actual image of the front and back cover, and or eBay sellers, they're not catching this newsstand. So they either don't care, or they just it was an oversight.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
just a little cornbread.
Yeah, I feel like people, that are selling in bulk like that are just turning and burning and generally don't care, right?
Oh, yeah,
That there's
100%. Yeah,
that they bought a collection and they're just trying to make a profit off of that.
I agree. Tom says, "Yep. If not for Joe Kelly, Deadpool is a dead character." Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't know if I go as far as say dead character because the Ryan Reynolds bump, right, in live action, the adaptation. But on the other hand, you could circle back and say, well, that might not even ever happened if Joe Kelly didn't write this book, and this story becomes so popular, these covers become so popular, funny, so on and so forth. Maybe that kind of just started the snowball effect. Who knows? And that's how Ryan Reynolds got on it. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but Colin Thomas says Joe Kelly is writing the new series too. Haven't read it yet, but I've heard good things. Oh, nice, dude. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Okay. I'm going to check that out. Thank you, Colin. Appreciate it. All right, let's move on to the next book. This is a fun one. We were looking at the CGC 9/8 at first, but let me explain. So we're looking at TMNT issue number 3 from Mirage. It's from the 1984 Volume 1 series. And we're looking at it specifically in a CGC 9/4 for multiple reasons. One reason is because I wouldn't mind having this book as a 9/4. I'd be honest with you. I'd be fine. And like Aaron always asks me, and Joe and I and Leg says, would you check to see if there's meat on the bone to CPR? Absolutely. That's the first thing. But the second thing is, if there's no meat on the bone, I'm happy with a 9/4, because this is exactly, this isn't number 3. Issue 3 isn't like the book for me. Issue 1 is the book. Unless you have like a double cover like Aaron, or something crazy, or triple cover, or whatever he had. But so I looked at CGC 9/8 and there was a down, but there was also 2 big sales that brought that book's value way up. So I went down to all the grades. I went down all the grades on all the analytics sites. I went and checked the sales. I checked all marketplaces, and I found that CGC in a CGC 9/4, there's equity to be built here. So we're looking at this book right now down 30%. What's going on here, Aaron?
Yeah, so a low sell of a CGC 9/4 for $144. Average fair market value of 196. This is down about 30%. I mean, like Richie said, I do have a double cover, so I'm super happy to have that in my collection. And then, one of the biggest sellers, or biggest Turtles collectors I know, Soul Wookie, he's like, shut up and take my money. Like, yeah. Because I mean, I know he was working on putting together 2 complete sets of the original TMNT run. So I mean, a 9/4 is definitely a respectable grade for a book of this age. And then being like oversized.
Yeah. And the fact, good point. The fact that it's oversized too, and it was a Mirage. A lot of people weren't putting a lot of emphasis on this book. It was more of like a read. And it's funny how I saw somebody post this, so I'm not going to take credit for it, but somebody said something that was so interesting. There was a before and after post of the Mirage Turtles into, Turtles Today into Saturday morning cartoon. And you're like, how in the hell did such a dark comic of mutant animals turn into this quirky poppy kids thing? Like, yeah, I think these are great. I definitely want 1. If I get 1, I'm definitely going after 2, 3, 4. I'm going after everything. Yeah. But until I get 1, I'm not going to start with 3. That's just me.
Well, I feel like
unless it's a double cover.
I feel like any of these oversized ones, like, so issues 1 through 4, and then the Raphael book. Like if you ever run into those at a good price, it's never a bad thing to pick them up.
Yeah.
Just because they're getting like more and more scarce. And especially like right that they had the arrow logo as well, where where there's a little bit more white on the cover.
Yeah. So I put it on the thumbnail. I put on the thumbnail the Laird error. so
Yeah.
so I would kind of just like people would be like, like people that would know that error, be like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
let's see what's going on here. But we're talking about just the regular.
Yeah.
Anything else you wanted to add about this, Aaron? I wasn't there on Friday night, so
I mean, other than like, good luck finding these. Oh, you know how you were saying that like stuff was getting more dark and gritty, or originally Turtles was all dark and gritty, and then they
yeah.
went to the child cartoon stuff. I could see that's why there's a popularity for The Last Ronin now, because that's dark and gritty, getting back to the roots of Eastman and Laird. And I think it hits on multiple levels too, as well. That was a title that reunited Eastman and Laird. I mean, besides like the documentary of like the toys we grew up on.
Strong. I didn't think about that. That's
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah. So I think it hits on different levels of nostalgia, right? That you had a notorious partnership that ended after, that was people, separated for like 20 years or whatever, and then reuniting. So, or 30 years or whatever.
Colin Comics says early TMNT high grade is tough. Totally agree. Big Remo says because we were warped kids of the 70s. Actually, maybe you were. I don't remember anything in the 70s. I was like 3 years old. But Aaron's like, I wasn't even a fucking pipe dream. No, I'm kidding.
I wasn't, because my parents weren't even married.
Solo Wookie says the more white in NY Comic Con era, way harder to find, not cheap. Yeah. That's the layer.
Oh, we found out it was not a New York Comic Con. It was a Pennsylvania con.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So shout out to Recalled Comics. So they have a really good write up on that.
Love Recalled Comics. Love them.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We're looking at Spawn issue 221. This is the cover A. We're looking at this book in a CGC 9.8. Obviously, you guys know this is an AF-15 homage or swipe or however you want to call it. What's going on here, Aaron?
Yeah, so I was surprised to see a low sell of a CGC 9.8 at $242. It has a average fair market value of $250. This book has dropped down in or about at 34%. So like with the Spawn book being part of the run, that's super low print run, like a McFarlane swipe on top of that.
Yeah.
Like I think these books will always have that popularity, for especially for Spawn collectors and people that enjoy collecting homage covers.
Yeah, I have to agree on that. Wasn't there a black and white of this cover as well?
Right. So the black and whites, there's a black and white version for each cover, and I believe those are 1 in 25s.
Okay.
Incentive variants. So
interesting. Yeah, I mean, this is a great cover. I mean, I'm not one for Torment or ASM 300 or 301 or AF-15. I'm over it. I'm done. But if McFarlane's doing it and he's doing something like this, I'm all over it. This book's been a big book for a long time, especially when the news got out on social media about 5-6 years ago that what is it, 210 215 to like 275, or is it like 180 to 270 where like the most rare covers or something like that?
Oh yeah, I don't remember where it starts. I think it's like, is it right after 200?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere around there. Yeah, I know that this is one of the books.
Yeah, it's within that range, right? From like, or is it somewhere like in the 160s or something like that? 160s to like 260 something, right?
Honestly, I'm literally guessing. Chat, let us know. I'm sure if you have a Key Collector app, I think he
Oh,
actually has something in there about it.
or if you go into Spawn World, they talk about it there too as well. They're way more in depth about Spawn. So
Yeah,
that's like the Spawn encyclopedia, if anything.
interesting. All right, let's move on. We're looking at Tiger Division, issue number 1. This is the Art Germ 1 in 100 Virgin. This is a pretty cool cover. Luna Snow is coming. We don't know when, but she is coming. We were initially I should say Aaron was initially looking at the 1 in 25 second print, which had some peaks and valleys, but there was just not a lot of data there compared to what was
It's
happening here.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lower print run book, right? The second print 1 in 25.
So
I
what's happening here, Aaron?
Yeah, so there was a low sell of a CGC 98 for $60, and it has a average fair market value of 70. That drop is at or about 65% down in fair
Yeah.
market value. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Interesting.
just to see a 1 in 100 sell below ratio, that's one thing. To see
Graded
art
98
germ, yeah, graded
art term.
98 is
Yep.
another thing.
Yep.
Add the art germ premium on top of that, like
Yep.
I mean, this is a perfect storm of a book for Buy the Dip if I ever saw one.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are specking on Tiger Division. I'm not sure. Aaron, you might know because I think because I've been big into New Agents Atlas, and I'm pretty sure Aaron is as well. Is uh, is this just a first team appearance that first appeared in Black Cat Annual 1? And the partial was in the Taskmaster 3 with Taijuki and White Fox. Is there any new characters in Tiger Division that didn't show up until this book, or is it just like first solo series?
I think it's like one of those first solo series.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
honestly can't remember. I'll have to brush up on that reading again.
I was looking at the data. I was looking at the data for this, and I went all the way back to first to market. So first to market was like between, I want to say 179.99, and I was a Benner BO. I couldn't find the actual sale, so I'm guessing it was about 150 because the next sale was the next day, and it was an auction for 152.31 or something. So I'm
Oh,
guessing
where
it was around
someone matched, where
yeah.
someone matched the best offer price. Yeah.
Right. So that was first to market, and that was during end of pandemic. So I went a little further into 2023 and defined the good hard data, and 65% down. I think this is an interesting play.
Wilbert, if it ever pans out that Jenny Kim from Blackpink would play Luna Snow to the moon.
So is that the Korean pop star, K-pop star?
Yeah, something like that.
Jenny Kim?
Yeah, because I think she was rumored to play a Marvel character at one point in time, and then I think it was later confirmed that that was just a rumor.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, this is the last book from last Friday's Buy the Dip list on the House of Stein YouTube channel, the original Hot 10 comic show. We're looking at Mighty Avengers, issue number 3. This is the, I don't want to say iconic, but very popular, sought after La Roca M&M variant. We're looking at this book in a CGC 98. What's happening here, Aaron, and why did you pick this one?
Oh man, like with just the explosion of Eminem from what was it, that ASM book, it caused all of his older books to jump up in price too. So when I saw a CGC 98 of this sell for 174, it just completely shocked me. And it has a average fair market value of $316. This is down in fair market value at or about 37%. So
That's a lot for this book.
Yeah,
I was shocked
it's
when I saw the data. I was shocked.
Yeah, I knew it was like when I saw the low price, I was like, that is way too low for this book to sell at that price.
Yeah.
Um, just because of the popularity of Eminem, especially like he obviously is getting a bigger presence in comics too as well. like with the multiple ASM covers, people doing art books or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
Air
then,
quote.
yeah. Yeah. So, and then, he even had it himself off of his website where he had signature books too. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I knew about this book, but I never was interested until it hit the hot 10 at least. I want to say, well, the show twice, maybe almost 10 once, and then hot 10 the other. And we've talked about this book in the past, and I've been interested ever since. I mean, somebody pulled off a 174. I checked it's an actual sale. Average 316, put it together and cut it in half. You're looking at, I don't know, 250, 260, maybe with some negotiation power. I'm a buyer at 250 to 300 of this book. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So, all right. That was it. That's the House of Stein by the dip list. You guys know the House of Stein YouTube channel. Make sure you guys are subbed up to the House of Stein YouTube channel. Ben and Bryan and all of us, we are trying to do as much fun stuff as we can. There's by the dip right there. There's our boy Red Hood and the rest of the crew. We're talking about doing other stuff like I think we're talking about what were we talking about, Aaron? We're doing the blue chips, right? The modern and the silver blue chips, and we're also doing some card stuff. And he wants to do some golf content, but he's talking about maybe opening another channel for that. That's TBD. But make sure you guys are subbed up to House of Stein. He's not only it's not only a good show that we have on Friday and a lot of other stuff coming, but on top of that, he's a really good guy. He's a really good guy, and he's trustworthy. So make sure you're subbed up to him. All right, guys, let's go. We are looking at the list for episode 22 for By the Dip. This is Aaron and I's list we put together today. We hope you guys enjoy it. Let's go to number 5. We're looking at the Defenders, issue number 4. This is from the 1973 Volume 1 series, specifically in a CGC 9-8. This is your first appearance of Valkyrie, Barbara Norris. Of course, the original Valkyrie or the Valkyrie was Enchantress. It's actually Enchantress shapeshifted. This is, in my opinion, is like you get your, because Barbara Norris is like, to me, in comics at least, not live action, but in comics is like the true Valkyrie of the Bronze and want to say early Copper Age. I really like this book. I love this cover. Pegasus is on the cover. It's awesome. We're looking at April 2023 on the 90-day average. Got some solid data. Value on a 9.6 and a CGC 9.6 of this book, $803 with a high sale of $1,000. It's about a year ago.
Wow.
We come up about a year later, same book, same grade in a CGC 9.6. Average value now $575 with a low sale of $550. Aaron, are you into specking on Valkyries? And before you answer that, because I already kind of know the answer, if you're not, which I'm thinking that's going to be your answer, but I could be surprised. If you're not, is this the kind of book you'd like to have in your PC?
Oh, so I bought a couple of the modern Valkyrie. What is it?
Tessa Thompson or whatever. I don't know the name, but we were all calling it Tessa Thompson for a while.
Yeah, the War of Realms annual book. Yes. Like I have a couple of those
before Jane Foster becomes Valkyrie.
Yeah. So I have a couple of those stashed away somewhere, like in a box somewhere. But I mean, other than that, like I'm not a big collector of the mythic god stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, especially if you're specking on this adaptation stuff. I mean, Taika Waititi, we've talked about it many times. I know it sounds like a broken record, but Taika Waititi and the crew, they really screwed up the entire mindset of these characters in live action forthwith. So hopefully that can change. But I love this book. Comes in a it does come in a Mark Jewelers.
Okay.
So yeah,
I
so be
mean,
aware.
yeah, like running into to Mark Jewelers, like I think that would be interesting. Like
Yeah,
that definitely would pique my interest a little
yeah,
bit more.
absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Number 4, we're looking at Uncanny X-Men issue number 120, specifically in a CGC 9.8. As you guys know, is your first appearance, I believe, in Cameo, couple fools, but most in Cameo of Alpha Flight, which is Sasquatch, Aurora, Shaman, Snowbird, and North Star. On the 6-month average of this book in a CGC 9.8, I would go as far as say this from comics. This is an iconic storyline right here. I love this storyline. This is a great storyline, great cover. We're looking at a 6-month average, March 2023 till the end of summer. Average value for this book in a CGC 9.8, $5,340. Multiple high sales around 6K with a high sale of 6,500. So that's after pandemic, guys. That's what we're trying to do here. If you're not aware, if you're new, we go about a 90-day average, about a little over a year later. Now we're looking at an average fair market value down to $3,950, which is a solid number too. What do you think about this, Aaron?
No, man. I think especially with the success of X-Men 97, I think it wouldn't surprise me to see expansion of like more teams that are based in the X-Men universe, right? To expand out like either into live action or even into animation. I think that's what what people are kind of craving for, right? That it's a little bit more based off of like comic storylines instead of just characters.
Yeah, closer to the source material, the actual storylines. Yeah, I get
Right.
that.
I mean, I'm not saying I need to see a 1-for-1 shot of a comic,
Right.
put into, animation or live action or anything like that.
That's
But
what Star Wars is for.
yeah, right. Exactly. Or, for the movie to come out first and then the comic to come out afterwards.
Yeah, I do. I
That's
do. I do like that. I just add what you're saying. I do like that point. I do like the fact that the MCU and the DCU, they put their own little spin on things, so it can keep even us comic readers and comic collectors kind of left at suspense. But I
right.
think that
Or keep it interesting or something. It's like
interesting.
something fresh. Yeah, it's something fresh. Or it's a nice interpretation of, the things that we grew up on, right? And
Exactly.
but I mean, you can see that both studios are also in animation. They're doing like one for like DC for the longest time. We're doing 1-for-1 shots of the animation stuff of whatever storyline. Like,
Yeah.
If you read The Dark Knight Returns versus watching The Dark Knight Returns, it's it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, you
Yeah.
could say the same thing somewhat of The Killing Joke if you took out the first 30 minutes of the film, right?
Right.
Like it's literally The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, I like this book. Let's see, 1979. So there is a Mark Jewelers of this book. No Canadian newsstand Canadian price variant didn't start for a while, but there might be an Australian price variant. I don't know much about those. But keep your eye out for the centerfold. If you guys do see in the middle, the centerfold, you do see like a glossy cardstock in the centerfold, you got a Mark Jewelers. So,
Nice.
All right. Number 3. This is a fun one. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Issue number 1. We're looking specifically at newsstand editions in a CGC 9.8. I feel like so many people love this book and they've owned it at one time. First appearance of Firestar. I added those quotations, not in the Prime Marvel Universe, the 616. She doesn't show up, Firestar, until I want to say X-Men 1. It's the same one with the Marauders, I believe, are in it. But anyways, it's a white cover. But anyways, yeah, this is out of continuity, obviously. And this is a fun book. Really cool book. I love this book. We're looking at this book and specifically a CGC 9.8, a newsstand edition, not a direct market, because there's completely 2 different price points for those. On a 12-month average, because there are tons of sales. That's why I'm going 12-month here. So from February 2023 throughout February of this year, average fair market value for this book is in a CGC 98 is $573. Just a month or two later, on a 30-day, same book, same grade, CGC 98, average fair market value now $410 with a low of $355.
Wow.
Wow. I think that's a good buy.
Yeah. And for the first canon appearance, that was X-Men, Uncanny X-Men number 193.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say 194. Okay, 193. Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, but which is kind of interesting because it came out 4 years later. So I think it's like, yeah. So it's like one of those situations. Like, what do you like? You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, it's like continuity versus not continuity. I don't know. Like,
she's
it's
on the
hard.
cover. She's on the
She
cover.
is on the cover. I mean, as long as the character's not radically different, where it's like a different character name, like whoever the person behind the mask is, right? Or I don't even know what else would like.
I would
like the difference between like the prototype of Wolverine versus like the first Wolverine, right? Like, do you really count the
I see what you're
Foom?
saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that's a good point. That's actually a good point for a discussion, a debate. But to me, for Firestar, this is the book. That's my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really hard to argue like a
Yeah.
4 years before, right?
4 years before, on the cover, she even says her name in a word bubble. She's even in the freaking up there in the top left.
In the corner
What are
box.
those? Corner box.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I used to own this book. I don't own it anymore. So I'm definitely going to be putting it on my watch list after tonight's show. So, all right, let's move on. We're looking at number 2. Something is Killing the Children. Issue number 1. This is the DeMaio 1 in 25. Oh, did I say 2? I meant 10. My bad. Thanks for calling me out. Appreciate that. 1 in 25 or 25 copy retailer incentive. We're looking at raw copies, specifically in a near mint minus or better, like new or better. This is got a couple things going on, but the big event is the death of Aaron Slaughter, right, Aaron, in this book?
Right.
Okay, so
yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, go for it.
Hey, Laura Brooklyn, what up? So this book is very interesting. It was on the Hot 10. This is when we were with Flipside, right when I got on the show. I want to say 2021, 2020, 2021, right when I got on the show. On about a 45 day, because it wasn't a full 60-day average. There's multiple sales for raw new copies, near mint minus or better copies. $50 on the average with a high of $85. There was actually 2 sales for $85. One for $85.02, the other one for $85. I want to say 40 something. Both auctions. Okay. Now, just a month later. Now let's go back and look at those dates. Look at that, 45 days. So this is from February of this year to the beginning of April of this year. Now we just go about a month later. Average fair market value now is down to $20 with the low sale of $14. And I was telling Aaron backstage, there was 2 sales. One guy had 5 copies. He was selling them as an auction. It ended up, or no, I'm sorry, it was a Benner BO. He had it for $149.99. I think it sold for like $120. And then there was another auction with 10 copies, but I didn't include those in there. I can't remember. It was somewhere close to $200, but $14 low, $20 average. Aaron, I'm a buyer on this.
Oh, easily. Like, I was selling cover A's for $14 and $20, like when this book released, like easily. So like to see the incentive, the 1 in 25, go for that. And you have to also remember that the paper quality hadn't changed yet for Something is Killing the Children for this for the rest of the series. Like that didn't happen until issue 12. So you're also like seeing that this is about the time when it's approaching the peak of its popularity. So like on that high uprise, because the first few issues didn't have that many of a print count, or had a lower print count, and the title built up on its own over time.
Yeah.
What else did I want to say? Oh, and then even though it's a short amount of issues that you see Aaron within the story, or within this, the Something's Killing the Universe, he gets additional issues within
Panel time and context. Yeah.
And like House of Slaughter as well. Like he's in the first 5 issues. Like that's his background story.
Yeah, he's a big time character for sure.
Right, and then he shows up in like different flashbacks of different things from what I've read. So
let me see. So if I remember correctly, because I've read this 1 through 16 multiple times, I'm gonna try to remember. So he kills the monsters for Erica as she's protecting the children, and he gets killed, right? Is that what ended up what happened to him? I can't really remember.
So so he's also a Black Mask like Erica, where they're both hunters, is what they're called, and then like the White Mask work in teams.
Gotcha.
So the different color mask like represent like your class, right? Of what you do for the House of Slaughter or the Order of St. George. So
Gotcha.
yeah, so as like so you find out that they train together basically to both be hunters, to be self-reliant, to work on as an individual, and then yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, and there's some pretty interesting covers as well. The second print's pretty cool. It has Aaron. You see his face. Aaron, not Aaron Yee, but Aaron Slaughter. And he's got the two daggers. And then cover A shows him like his middle torso and his tattoo in his hand, right? Or his arm or whatever.
Or his cuff, right? It's like his cuff.
I was telling Aaron backstage, I go, and I literally said this too. I was like, doesn't cover A has him, the cover where it has him zipping down his pants? It looks like he's zipping down his pants, like when you first look at it, but he's like, what the hell? I'm like, never mind. But anyways, that was funny. All right. Let's go to the number 1 book. Thank you guys for joining us. It was a quick show tonight. Aaron's got to work, and I want to respect that. And we have Memorial Day weekend coming up. So let's go to number 1 by the Dip book that I like a lot. We're looking at the Avengers, issue number 57, specifically in the grade CGC 8.5. That's where I saw the biggest drop, where it didn't look like an anomaly. It looked like it was a pretty decent dissension. We're looking at February 2023 all the way to February this year on the 12-month average, $850 for a CGC 8.5. And just to let you know, this grade during the pandemic, I don't even want to say pandemic. So when WandaVision came out, when White Vision showed up, like throughout right after that, this thing was like over 1,000, but way over $1,000. But I just want you guys to just give you that. We go here and we go over the last 3 weeks. I'd say 3.5 weeks, April 2024 to May 2024. Average value now $700, and there was 2 sales of $650 in a CGC 8.5. Before I ask you the questions, I'm going to go ahead and give why I like this book. Not only it's a classic, it's an iconic book, first appearance of the Vision and cover in the Silver Age. But on top of that, we got some really good news about White Vision coming after the writer's strike. And, a lot of people gravitated towards that West Coast Avengers book. And I believe a lot of people just kind of overlooked this book. And I think this is a good buy. What do you think about this book, Aaron, moving forward? And are you a buyer at this price?
So I actually was going to ask you about that too. I'm kind of glad you put this on the list, because I recently ran into a copy, but
Mm.
it's coverless. Would you still buy it? A coverless copy at whatever price they
De-
have it marked at, like 60% off too.
I would have to. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't pay for this book as a coverless. I wouldn't pay more than $60 for a coverless. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
so I mean, would you still consider buying it if it was like a reasonable price, right? A coverless copy is that
Honestly, no, I wouldn't because not only. I mean, this book. Don't get me wrong. The guts are what makes this book so special, but that cover puts icing on the cake, man.
right? That it just pushes it that much over the edge, right? The like, I wouldn't even consider buying it and then like trying to marry a copy, right? Like to me, it didn't make sense. And then I was like, I don't think this character is strong enough to do the where you grade each page to encapsulate it and hold it for like 20 years or whatever. Like to me, that didn't make sense either. So I was like, kind of like, I don't know why I would buy a first appearance of Vision without the cover as well.
And
But I
this is
mean,
one of the.
like, yeah,
Sorry, go ahead. So go ahead.
I,
Go ahead. My bad.
yeah, and usually, typically with any main Marvel title in the Silver Age, like within the first 50 issues, to me, like if the price is right, like and there's a first appearance and all that, like it seems like an easy pickup. So that's why I was
Yeah.
like kind of like, is it worth it? I don't know.
Is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
is it worth putting in all that effort of like trying to find a cover or trying to grade each individual page? Like to me,
Right.
financially, it didn't really, really.
Here's a good comment by Spidey Guy. He said depends on the splash page, what the splash page looks like. That makes a lot of sense with what Aaron's talking about here. When is splash page is very similar to the cover, then that case I go for it. Okay,
Mm,
I see what you're saying. It depends on what the splash page looks like. When the splash page is very similar to the cover, then in that case he'll go for it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I got you on that. Nice. And some first appearance characters, they show up on the splash page and then they don't show up till the end of the book.
right.
Which gives them that first full because they're in the front and the back technically. But
Their
yeah, I
name,
mean,
they're talked about. They're
yeah.
heavily intrigued or intertwined into the main plot of the story or whatever.
Aaron, to be honest with you, if I found this book at a store and it was coverless and the guy wanted $20, $25, I'd probably pay up to $30, maybe up to $50 for that. But it wouldn't be something that I'd be happy with leaving the store with. Like, oh yeah, I want to, you know what I mean? It would
Yeah,
be it would be a personal thing for me.
like instead of I don't know how much they were asking for it. I didn't. I was like kind of like half like meh. I was more on the meh side than on the I'm gonna buy that side. Uh, I ended up buying like the whole run of All New Wolverine
Oh,
instead,
cool.
and
But
it,
that's
it has a bunch of
Laura Kenny.
yeah. So it has a bunch of variants in it and stuff like that. Like the top issue one was the 1 in 20 design variant. So I'm excited to
Wow.
open it up. Yeah, so I'm excited, and I got it for like $80. So
Wow. Good for you, man.
yeah, so I'm excited to unbundle it to see what other variants are within that. Because like within those like first 10 issues, like anything above a 1 in 25 or 1 in 20, like some of those covers are really fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have to agree with Aaron on that. I love that whole Honey Badger and first Laura Kenny
as
ongoing or
Wolverine.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, as Wolverine. But back to this book, Wilbur. I just disagree with you, and I love you and I respect everything that you say. I just disagree. I think that what's the actor's name that plays Vision, the British guy, Eric. I thought he played White Vision so cool, so cool. I love the fact he's like, please elaborate. Like, I love the way he talked. I love the way he looked. I thought I'm really excited for
oh,
him to be adapted and come back to the live action. Um,
is
the
it
MCU side,
Paul
Paul
Bettany?
Paul Bettany. That's right. Yeah, the MCU Tony Stark version of Vision, live action where He's Tony Stark. He's what's his name? What's that? Age of Ultron, so on, and some other personalities. I believe they even said Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner said that his personality is in there as well. Yeah, I thought it was kind of the character was kind of for lack of a better term, kind of a wimp in a sense, but he was like badass though. Like I don't know. I just think that for a character they built up to be almost indestructible and to be beat up the way he was beat up by the Black Order in the first Infinity Saga, it was disappointing. But then when the White Vision shows up in WandaVision, it really sparked my interest back into this character. And if you go back into like 2017, 15, there's some really dope variants with Vision and his family with Viv Vision, so on and so forth, that are sought after and rare as well. So I like this book. I think it's a good buy. I think if you have this book in an 8.5 or better, congratulations. I want this book in a 7.0 or better. Yeah, I like this. I like this play here.
No.
So, all right. So that was our episode. We appreciate you guys. Unfortunately, we didn't get the Beyond Wednesday people, but I'm sure we'll get them next week. And we love Bryan. Well, go ahead.
But we are 8 people away from hitting 1,000. So y'all have until next week to subscribe. Because if we don't hit 1,000 by the dip episode, I'm putting this on eBay. I'm not gonna lie. So, but I'd rather a viewer get this and get the chance.
There you go. And make sure you guys are subbed up to Beyond Wednesday's YouTube channel. Really good stuff going on over there. He's got the Industry of Comics show going on. And of course, you have Modern Comic Mayhem on Saturdays. And of course, you see Aaron and I, along with Big Leg, Red Hood, and Bryan on every Wednesday night on the Wednesday Night Review Show. You got pickups, Aaron?
Yeah. So, just so High Voltage Mark knows, I am giving away a sealed Essentia torpedo book, the issue 22. So it could either be a Miller or it could be a J. Scott Campbell, but it's sealed, so I don't know.
Can we get a little context on the Essentia? Can you elaborate for everybody?
Yeah, so for if you had purchased issues 13 to 18, there was a Mail Away coupon in there, and you had to send that to one of Torpedo's locations, like one of the receiving areas, right?
Yeah.
And so everyone that sent in, you have a chance of getting either the J. Scott Campbell cover, which is amazing, or a Frank Miller cover. So I sent in 2 coupons, and I did open one. So I did end up with the J. Scott Campbell, to be completely transparent. So I did only get 2. So, I'm assuming it's a Miller in there, but I don't know either.
Are you really going to give that away?
Yeah, if we hit 1,000 before next
Holy crap, that's amazing, bro.
Yeah,
dude, thank you so much, man. Aaron is the best, dude. You see why we all team up with him? The guy's incredible. I think I got multiple. I put the thumbnail out with Aaron and I on there, just in case. I just wanted to put it on there so people, in case they don't know what SPEC Media or didn't pay attention to my 1 billion posts about it, they know who we are or whatever. And I've gotten some feedback on both accounts, the SPEC Media account and my personal account, about Aaron showing up on all of our shows. And this one in particular, let's go ahead and share the screen. I want to show you guys and this is how we all feel about Aaron, especially me, Bryan, Ben, and Joe. So we have here Dark Evolution Comics. He says Easy, tagged Easy. He says has been on every comic show possible, and I liked it with a lull.
So you what's really funny? I actually used to be on the show with Dark Evolution Comics with Knife Wonder. So we used to do a show weekly with cover picks for cover picks.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
I remember that show. That was fun.
yeah. So I mean, like, he's not lying, I guess, at this point.
Well, you see my response to him. I said, Dark Evolution Comics, trustworthy plus friendly plus funny plus knowledgeable equals Yeezy Yee is the shiznit. So, and you guys see why every night here and on my Tuesday nights, every Wednesday night on Bryan's channel, every Thursday night on Nearing Nirvana, every Friday night on the House of Stein, every Saturday night on Modern Comic Mayhem.
But the funny part is, like, I'm super busy this weekend. like my band is playing this Friday, so I won't be able to make the Hot 10. I think, and then Thursday night there might not be Long Story Short because I have band practice and all that. So
Spidey Guy Murphy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what we're saying, Yi is smart. If it's a Miller, it's wicked bad luck. I mean, I figured more than likely it is, but I mean, it's sealed. You have the chance. Like, it's
a nice gift. That's a nice prize right there. That is.
I mean, honestly, if you receive this is what I would do. I would leave it sealed, throw it on eBay. Instead of getting $30-$40 for a Miller, you're getting probably like 100-150 for a sealed Asensio.
And then package. Watch, and then it'll be on Buy the Dip a year later, and Aaron will rebuy
it. With how bad that Miller cover is, no, I'm not buying the Miller.
Okay. Yeah. And then Jeff Drake is saying Santa Yee. Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah, Santa Yee without the beard and the big belly. Wilbur says Yee is smart. If it's a Miller, it's a wicked bad luck idol. Lol. And then Planet AZ says, I thought everyone had Yee on for the IT help. Kidding. No, not at all. Actually, we hire. So I shouldn't say we, but the brass at Tales from the Flip Side, they hired Aaron to produce all the shows because of his background, but also because of the comics. And he was a cool guy. And he followed us at the same time. It was just like a perfect storm. And then it happened, just so happened that Aaron became our number one producer and director of almost every show. And since then,
it was to help out Bryan to like lighten some of his load, like, because the way it was sold to our approach to me was like, they're like, oh, we need someone to help with graphic designs and stuff like that. And I have, a little bit of graphic design background, not a whole bunch, but like I'm comfortable with doing some graphic stuff. Not like professional level, but like, good enough for YouTube, right? Yeah.
Spidey Guy, he says some real nice stuff here. He says Aaron Yee is super well versed in all collectibles, comics, toys, cards, basically anything that you'd want to save and collect and know about. You're pretty much on it. So he is fantastic asset to any show. I totally agree.
Thank you so much.
Totally agree.
We haven't even we barely peel off the layer of an onion too. Like
Laura Brooklyn is asking if you're opening for Taylor Swift, by the way.
That would be an interesting dynamic of a show. But anyways,
Wilbert, very strong speculator, an investor, very, very, very knowledgeable. He says it's random, leaf sealed, wise advice.
Yeah.
And then Lord of Brooklyn goes on and says
Schrodinger's comic. That's pretty funny.
Constantino, what up, man? I haven't seen you in a while. He says, great show again, boys. Bravo. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. Great to see you. And of course, Mikey, holding it down with the wrench as always. We got to take care of Mikey because he's been wonderful as a moderator. He says, Yee for Prez. I have to agree. So I do have a few pickups. It'll just be quick, and then we'll let you guys go. Oops, wrong person. Okay, so I went to Comics, Tunes, and Toys today. Shout out to the Big To Do Mike, the owner of Comics, Tunes, and Toys. He's become a friend of mine. Is the owner of my LCS. I grabbed this Transformers 8. I believe this is the 1 in 25. I really like the look on this. It could be the 1 in 50. I don't remember. I just really remember missing this book and going, oh man, that reminds me of when I was younger. And then Black Cat, the Jackpot Black Cat. I got the Lobos incentive. I like it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then I had to see what everybody was talking about because this book is like sold out everywhere, but it's not bumping in value. But what if Venom #4, where Loki becomes Venomized? Supposedly, it's a really good storyline. So I grabbed 2 cover A's and I grabbed the 1 in 10 because I collect designs just as a PC, not for an investment. But and then also I made a short. I made a thumbnail for the short and the whole bit. It should be up tomorrow. And I bought a bunch of the Monopoly Prism board games, right? And they're sitting because of Wimby. I have 6 of them over here, and they're sitting there, and I'm just fiending because I don't have any cards to open. And I go, screw this, I'm opening them. So I opened up, I think 3 or 4 of them, but I kept 2 sealed, and I didn't get a Wimby, but I did get some pretty interesting cards from pretty interesting. If I could find it here, I had it somewhere. Might have to post it on my IG. Let me double check. Oh, Aaron, I wrapped your card up, your Monopoly card, and I'll give you tracking.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about it. Like, it's all good.
I put one of these in there. I have 2 of these. I didn't think you had this one. This is a fun insert.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, short
Yeah,
print too.
nice.
But
Appreciate it.
yep, you should be getting it pretty soon here. Let's see, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Oh, I found a bunch of this stuff. So I told you guys I was looking for Anthony Edwards today. Bunch of Flux, bunch of I found 4 Prism base that are beautiful. 2 of them are trashed. I found a green Prism.
Oh, nice. That's always
Yeah,
good.
that's a good one. Unfortunately, oh, here they are. Here they are. Okay. So here's what the red, it's called Red Monopoly Icon Prism Parallels look like. So this is what they look like. Last year it was different. You weren't getting them in every pack. This year you're getting one in every pack. So it's making it an SP. But they're beautiful. So it has their prism and they have the icons on them. And it has that dark maroon color.
Oh, that's kind of cool again.
I got Drosy Walker, who's, I mean, he's okay, but he's supposed to be really good. He's supposed to be coming out of the draft. He's supposed to be one of the best besides Wimby, but he hasn't done much.
Well,
And
he
you
got
got a
injured,
Devin.
right?
You
'Cause
got
he was
injured for a
supposed
while.
to-
Yep.
Yeah.
Devin Booker. Shout out to Bryan McClay. He loves Devin Booker. Got a DeMar DeRozan. Love this guy. And then of the couple that I opened up, you get a starter pack. And here's what the Wimbies look like in them. So you got 2 Wimbies.
Oh,
They're pretty
that's
they're
nice.
pretty cool. I mean, it looks kind of goofy because he's got that curtain back there and he's like, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But it's cool. I mean, you know, and they're nothing but they're like $5-10 on the secondary, nothing big. I also been opening some golf upper deck. I play golf. I love golf. I love watching golf. I know you guys will probably laugh at that one, but in my opinion, this guy's the best guy to be chasing. This is Max Homa. This guy is on fire. This is Young Guns, and in the same pack, this is this is probably one of the most expensive ones. I think it's like they're not worth much. They're like $20, something like that. But in the same pack, I got the SP Canvas Young Gun for the same guy, and I don't know. Oh, here it is, right here, Max Homa. That's the SP. These are one I want to say in 64 packs, but maybe 42 packs. So, and that was in a blaster box. So. But yeah, that's it. That's the show. Anything you wanted to add, Aaron? What are you up to this week? You said you're on call at work?
Yeah, I'm on call for work. And then I'm also working the UFL game. But I also picked up the Hobie Boo. This is a adult comic, and it has early Matt Groening work in it. I can't remember if this is the first published or not, but yeah.
Interesting.
So I found that not too long ago.
Let's hit the chat before we go, and we'll call it a night. Manny the Comic Collector in the house. He says, "What up, fellas? Hey, Manny, I need to talk to you. I'm actually was gonna do a short or a video or something of all my Pokemon cards. I want to find out which ones are good and which I don't want to look up each one of these. And I know you're so knowledgeable about that. So I want to get your advice on that." He said, "What's up, fellas? What up, Manny?" Spidey Guy Murph. And to top it all off, you're living my rockstar metalhead's dream. Talking about Aaron. Yeah, Spidey Guy's good guy. Good guy. Throwing up the double horns. Appreciate that. Manny says, "What's up with Doom One Shot? Why the spike?" I just don't think there's a lot ordered.
It's a good read.
It's a great read. Is there a new character on the front of cover A, guys? Let me know in the comments. Because I have all the covers coming except the art. I don't have the art germ version, but that's a good question because it came out of nowhere. It just bumped out of nowhere, and then Yeezy sold out and went pop. Lord of Brooklyn says because you're hedging your bet on opening for Taylor Swift, State of Filth. Oh, kidding.
That, yeah, you know, and all those pop stars, they're always looking for backup bands too, all the time, anyways.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Steel Cartel says Lobos is sick. Oh, I totally agree with you. Then and welcome. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much.
He's
Spidey
a great
Guy's
guy to
on
meet
fire.
too. Yeah.
Oh, is
Lobos.
he? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
He lives in my area. He lives in my
nice.
area, and I met him at a local con. But the first time I met him was in Florida. Before he was known, like when he was applying to be an artist for like DC or Marvel, like he was showing his portfolio at because at different conventions they have those meetings.
Planet AZ says, "How cool! Max is a good guy." He's talking about the golfer Max Homa. This guy is finishing top 10. I mean, he's missed a few cuts, but not a lot. And he's won a few, but Scheffler's not in the set. They messed up. So he's probably going to be in series 2 but Planet AZ says Max is a good guy. I'm a mail carrier with the post office and I deliver to him. Oh, wow. That's cool, man. He's like the most famous guy on my route. I bet, man. You're like Aaron. Aaron lives next door to like football players, rock stars.
Well, they all moved away now at this point. All those football players.
And then Smokey says, "How you're sitting right now would be perfect if you had a fight on in the background, as long as you didn't acknowledge it. We all could watch it. Wink." Oh, yeah. You're talking about the Dodger game back there. Yeah. That's why I keep going like this in my head, just in case, I don't want to get a strike.
But I definitely got written consent from the MLB.
That's awesome. Exhibit's in the house. He says, "Night, guys. Thanks for another great show. Appreciate you, Exhibit. You're awesome, dude. Thank you so much." And Wilbur says, "Get that Scotty Scheffler mugshot card. That I'm down for." Yeah, definitely. 100%. 100%. I can't wait till he shows up in the upper deck cards. And Spidey Guy Murph sell them 2 years ago. That's the advice. Okay, good advice. Ghost Show. Appreciate you. Ghost Show is Thursday, nearing Nerdvana. On long story short, but they might not have the show Thursday, right, Aaron?
Yeah, Ben has something going on, and then I have band practice. But if we finish early enough, I'm sure Red Hood and we might do our famous. So if y'all have pickups, we might do that show where it's the live interaction pickup show,
like a round table and do pickups. Yeah.
No, like audience pickup show.
Oh, audience. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. Thank you, Smokey. Appreciate you. He says, great show. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother. All right, guys. That's it. That's By the Dip, episode 22. We'll see you next week. Hopefully Aaron can make it. He's got a lot going on. If not, the show still goes on. So thank you, guys. Nova J showed up. He says, "Hey, I got my books." Thanks again, Richie and Aaron as well. Really appreciate you guys. Yeah. All right. Cool. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you're using Gemini Comic Supply, Popcorn 99, 10% off, SSP 99. You get another 10% off, an additional purchase. Thank you guys. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.